What up, everybody? Welcome to the Twin Wrestle Pod. You're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe. Now, last week we talked about King and Queen of the Ring and what I thought should happen, and like my predictions. I got one right, with Charlotte coming out as we had the classic PS2. No, we had it in frame, okay? It's just the classic console. As we had the Fatal 4-Way with the women, that being Charlotte Flair, right? Lyra Valkyria, Jade Cargill, and Sol Ruka. And I predicted that right. Charlotte picked up the win because it was needed. SmackDown needed a win so badly in this King and Queen of the Ring tournament for both sides, for both the women and the men. And WWE, they do not do well in booking tournaments. I know that. And shame on me, shame on all the people that I've seen to have so much thought put into it than WWE has thought put into these tournaments. They don't really think this shit out. They don't think the strategy out. There were some things about this tournament I did like, okay? There were some surprises. Javon Evans winning last week. Very good surprise. Didn't expect that. It was a hell of a fatal four-way match to end Monday Night Raw last week. Rollins, Tyler Tonga, everybody played their role. Javon Evans and Ricky Saints had a fantastic fatal four-way. Pay-per-view caliber, in my opinion. I want to encourage people to watch that show. And that crowd in Italy made it that much more sweeter, man. U.S. crowds, that Friday, this past Friday, showed me a lot about U.S. crowds, man. We got to do better, man. We need to do better. We need to do better in terms of our energy level. You pay this much. You pay the figure you pay the WWE shows. Trust me, I know. I've been to PLEs. I've been to main shows, so I know how much this shit costs. Don't go there and you ain't gonna make no type of noise. But on the other hand of that, WWE got to give you a show that it's meant to gain your noise. But it come hand in hand from both sides. But U.S. audiences, we have to do better. That was a very prominent factor when watching Friday Night SmackDown last week. I think it was in Providence, Rhode Island. The crowd was pretty much dead for real the entire show. The entire show. It was like fucking. It was like a fucking funeral out there. They had to get up for something. Some things they wouldn't. But let's stay on topic. Talk about these fatal four ways. Charlotte Flair advanced. Okay. She's the only person from the SmackDown brand to advance in this tournament. And why is this fatal four way of Jey Uso, LA Knight, Finn Balor, and Royce Keys on here? Because as you all know, I had Royce Keys advancing into the next round. This was a solid fatal four way on SmackDown, okay? It wasn't gonna be Balor. I given up hope on them doing anything of credence with Balor. The reason I had Royce Keys, okay, because coming into this fatal four way match, and that's probably a bit of naive on my part, but with the whole situation with LA Knight and Jey Uso, okay, them trading bars back and forth for these last 2.5, 3 weeks that we've seen on Monday Night Raw. LA Knight talking about we don't need the reintroduction back to the bloodline. We don't need to revert and go back to that. Jey Uso telling LA Knight stay out of family business. And him just being the more aggressive Jey Uso that we do know. And then we get the backstage segment. I should have known from the backstage segment with Roman and Jimmy and Jay when they told Jay to go ahead and get the WWE Championship, win this Fatal 4-Way, get the WWE Championship. I should have known better at that point. I just didn't think WWE would be this fucking stupid enough to do it. And I'm not one of those people that harp on Jay and just like hate on Jay. I fuck with Jay. I like Jay. But my thing is, we did this all last year. We've seen this. We've seen him get the world championship. I have no interest in seeing him do it. I want him to do a solo run, but I don't have no interest to see him in the main spots. WWE's problem with these type of tournaments, whether it's Money in the Bank, King and Queen of the Ring, wherever you want to name it, whatever tournament style they have, they don't use these tournaments or matches as an avenue to build new stars. They just don't. They rarely do it. It's like a fucking 10% chance that they will. Jey Uso in this match, he was like the last person I would expected to win. Out of all four competitors here, he was probably the one I expected to win third most. Because Finn Balor, I didn't expect him to win at all. I thought LA Knight and Royce Keys were the two top options. Because LA Knight, the fans are still behind him. He's barking back and forth with the bloodline. He's talking shit about Roman every time we turn around on Monday Night Raw. So that's an easy way to get him into the matchup with him and Roman at SummerSlam. No. Royce Keys, just because it's something fucking different. It's different various of styles. Him and Javon Evans would have had a good match because it's different variants of styles. A big guy versus a guy who's athletic, who can do acrobatic shit in the ring, and versus a powerhouse. That's a good matchup there. Even if you want to throw LA Knight in there, sure, go ahead. But WWE and Triple H decided to go with Jey Uso. So Jey Uso advanced over LA Knight, Finn Balor, and Royce Keys. And we have yet reverted back to the same bloodline shit. I love the bloodline, right? But I'm just getting tired of keep seeing the same old shit. It's like we take 2 steps forward and then another 3 steps backwards with WWE. They can't do nothing without relying on the bloodline for too much. Now with Roman, I don't think Roman's gonna hold the championship. I think he loses at SummerSlam and he's gone for a while. Jey, we just didn't need him to advance in this matchup. I thought him and LA Knight were gonna cancel each other out just based on everything they were doing these past 3 weeks. Finn Balor just newly just got traded to SmackDown. Royce Keys is the new guy up and coming. He's been in main event spots with Gunther. Had a hell of a match with Gunther a couple weeks back before Clash in Italy on SmackDown to determine number 1 contender. Fantastic. He's in segments with Cody. He's in segments with Gunther. He's in segments with Jacob Fatu. But unfortunately, he's sucked into the MFT vortex, so he's gonna stay there. Like, do something different, man. This is what Jey Uso's like 3rd or 4th tournament since they started this shit. Like, man, this shit really severely just put a damper on everything. And I ain't sending no hate towards Jey. I fuck with Jey, like I say, but we just need something fresh. We don't need to keep seeing this reverting back to the same shit. Now let's get on to the brackets, man. Let's look at the updated brackets, okay? I'm gonna go to Google to do it this way, because I don't think WWE have it on their website. Okay. Got updated brackets. Okay. Okay, this is the updated brackets for the men. We have Obafemi, Dom, Javon Evans, and Jey Uso. Now we know Obafemi and Dominic Mysterio is happening tonight on Monday Night Raw. But looking at this lineup, there's only 2 options in my opinion. This is just me. But I think I'm doing more creatively thinking than WWE will in this whole tournament, as it's shown. We have all Monday Night Raw guys here. Obafemi is choice number 1, the obvious choice, because he's in there with guys who are not just on his caliber. Option number 2 for me is Javon Evans, just because it's something different. I go back to times of when Undertaker held the WWE Undisputed Championship when he was the American Badass. Y'all know what match I'm talking about. The match with him and Jeff Hardy, Monday Night Raw, 2002. Ladder match. A match that didn't make Jeff Hardy, but put him in the main event scene as a singles competitor. You tell a wonderful story if you do something like that. He didn't win it. He didn't beat Taker, but he had an awesome performance. And his match type, Taker put him over after the match. Let's do something like that. Granted, Javon might not win, right? He ain't going to beat Roman or Cody if he do go. But you make a new star in the progress, right? Let's do something different. Let's fresh it up. If it's not going to be over, let it be Javon. The other 2 at the bottom, we don't need. Dom, love Dom. We don't need him. Not in no SummerSlam main event match. Like, give me a break. Jey Uso, come on. He been there, done that. We seen him versus Roman at the SummerSlam I was at in Detroit. We seen him there. Tribal Combat, if I remember. Been there, done that. So, I mean, if it's me, it's Oba, obvious choice. If Brock don't come out there tonight and screw him, and you get him and Oba at SummerSlam, Oba's got to be the clear cut man to run through this tournament. He has to. And then go give him the Brock Lesnar push, go to SummerSlam, beat the champ, become a new champ. Like Rock put over Brock, Roman put over Oba. Simple as that. If you're not gonna do that, Javon Evans, in my opinion, must be the next guy. Now, look at the women's. We have the women's world champion. World champion. I reiterate that point. World champion. I made my sentiments about that known last week. She shouldn't be in the tournament to begin with. They missed the opportunity to go back with Alexa Bliss versus Charlotte Flair. Storyline, the two are tag teams. They're in a tag team. So what makes a bit more drama for them to face to see who goes on to the finals? That makes more intrigue and more drama. But WWE decided not to do that. So hey, whatever. Becky Lynch. Becky and Charlotte. We ain't had no one-on-one match between them two in a very, very, very long time. Maybe about the last 2-3 years, maybe, possibly. So we have Liv Morgan, Charlotte Flair. I don't know if that takes place tonight. I'm not sure. I think Raquel and Io takes place tonight. I think Charlotte and Liv take place on Friday. So we have Io Sky and Raquel. I love me some bitch sexy Raquel. But she already defeated Io, I think, the 2 weeks before WrestleMania, if I remember. So this is where Io gets her win back. So I'm taking Io tonight. She's going to advance to the finals. And I think we're going to go with, I think it's going to be Charlotte versus Io in the finals to determine the queen of the ring. Now, out of that, do you go with Charlotte versus Rhea or you go with Io versus Liv? I think it's going to be Io versus Liv as your SummerSlam match. And possibly Stephanie McCurry can be a triple threat, but I don't think that'd be fair to Io. So, I mean, it's intriguing. We'll see what happens both tonight and Friday night. But the women's tournament been booked a lot better than the men's tournament, in my opinion. But we'll see, man. We have 2 matches tonight. We have Oba and Dom, and we have Io and Raquel tonight, kicking off Monday Night Raw. And that's what we're gonna get into, man. Other things listed for the show so far. I don't think there is anything that they have posted on their website just yet. As far as I know, those are the only thing. I think Roman's supposed to appear tonight. And I think that's about it, really. Nothing else. So, that's my predictions for the remaining of the King and Queen of the Ring tournaments and my thoughts on it, on the matches that happen and where we go from here. So, I'll see you guys in the next video, man. You guys take care. Enjoy Monday Night Raw tonight. Hopefully it's a great show. But it's deserved to be, so I don't put too much stock into that. But anyways, peace out, y'all.